Now, if you don't know what happened on the wonderful 18th day of March that the Lord blessed us with, let me flash a picture to you. That might give you an idea. Now, without being able to see all the stuff on the side over there, you see this poster of a game called Assassin's Creed Shadow. This game that is destined, because technically the game didn't come out, it's just previews, that is destined to be woke trash garbage. That is destined to be the worst game to ever touch mankind. That is destined to be the game that takes down the woke mind virus infected corporation Ubisoft. And just for the people who don't know me, I'm joking. But the woke mind virus infected company Wokisoft, Assassin's Creed Shadows. Now, if you don't know what Assassin's Creed Shadows is, don't worry. All you need to know is that across the board, it's getting 9s and 10s. Gaming Trend, 10. Noisy Pixel, 9.5. CGM, 9. PSX Brazil, 9. Tech Radar, I refer to Tech Radar and Gaming Trend up here all the time, 9. Gaming Sprue, 9. The 6th Axis, 9. Even IGN gave it an 8. GameSpot, reputable, 8. Push Square, reputable PlayStation blog, 8. Press Start, reputable, 7.5. PSLS, 7. VGC, excuse me. We use VGC all the time. That's one of my favorite websites to use because I like how they structure their articles. 4 out of 5. The Gamer, use they shit all the time too. 4 out of 5. Eurogamer, another one I use all the time. 4 out of 5. Another one I use all the time. Games Radar, 4 out of 5. Right now, the pre-release previews of this game give it a Metacritic score of 83. And that's before all other previews and stuff come out. I repeat, it currently, before release, has a Metacritic review score of 83. 83. Okay. I just realized what it looked like I was doing. I swore I wasn't doing that, but them niggas ain't never gonna see me. I'm a civilian. Anyway, 83. That's not a bad score. Now, if you don't have any prior knowledge on this subject, any prior knowledge on this topic, you might be sitting there giving your head a scruffle scratch like, bro, what is this dude talking about? What the hell is this nigga talking about? Well, with Assassin's Creed Shadows, there's a portion of the internet that call themselves the anti-woke mind virus people, which basically is a bunch of people who use video games as a vehicle for spreading their racist, gayist, sexist, whatever ism you could think of. That's what they do. They like to spread their beliefs through the use of video games. Thing about it is, a lot of them don't play video games. A lot of them don't, like, they just use this stuff as a vehicle for their racism. They don't really give a fuck about the art form or the medium. Every time they name a game, you ask them to name a game they played, they're naming a game from Xbox 360. They naming a game from goddamn PS1. Like, bro, it is not 19 nothing. We're not getting no 1999 games. When's the last time you played them 1999 games? They're not as, like, fleshed out and as fully realized as games are right now, because gaming has changed. Gaming has evolved as an art form, as a medium. But you can't tell them that, and it doesn't matter if you do tell them that, because guess what? They don't play games, so it doesn't affect their knowledge or their point of view or anything. And like, even when you try and talk to these people in a reasonable manner, it doesn't matter, because a lot of them are delusional weirdos following other delusional weirdos. So it's like a follower that's a delusional weirdo being followed by people who can't think for themselves and are followers, and themselves are delusional weirdos following delusional weirdos. A lot of them live in an echo chamber. A lot of them have a bedroom that smell like straight badussy. but ain't nothing but their own booty, dick, and pussy in that room, and they claim they're an involuntary celibate, but you put them in a room full of women that would like them exactly, and they over there in the corner trembling. They in the corner like a support when they see Black Panther with his ult charge at 100. You know what that means? They're trembling before Bass. Oh my God! I'm Mantis and I don't have a sleeve, and I see Black Panther and he's already threw 2 spears at me and dashed at me. Bass, please, no! That's them in a room full of women. That's them in a room full of tutis. Anyway, now that I gave you a little bit of background on how these widows are, how they operate, everything you see from them will apply to those rules, apply to that logic. Now, to tie it into how Assassin's Creed Shadow comes into that. They complain, nobody's gonna like this game, it's not historically accurate. Nobody's gonna like this game because it has a black character as a main character, and you know they did what they do every time. Racist internet trolls in this day and age, anytime something in relation to a black person happens, they're getting that face scan, a picture of George Floyd, and they're editing it onto the black person's face. That happens every single time. Happens every single time. Never fails. Never fails. And they even did it with this. So to bring that back in, we're gonna read some reviews. We're gonna read some media of early press reviews. Cause let's be real, there's a lot of press outlets that do dick suck. That is a factual statement. But if every press outlet is in agreement that a game is good, that's usually an amazing sign that that game is good. Because look, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 outlets. Now, this is not the opinions of like smaller content creators and stuff like that. The ones who are actually gamers, not the ones who, like I said, are using video games as a vehicle for their racism, sexism, gay-systism, whatever the fuck isms, is, and all that other stuff. People who actually play games. I've been seeing reviews on the timeline all day from different content creators. Some that I know, some that I don't. You know what I've been consistently hearing? It's good, it's good, it's good, it's good, it's good, it's good. I haven't heard a mixed review of I don't really like this and that and that. I don't really like this and that and that. I've heard a couple people say there are some things that I think could have been better, but overall it's a good game. But every game has something that could have been better, and I haven't seen anybody like review outlet or early content creator review wise try and tear into this game or nothing like that. So again, you know what that tells me? Ooh, the day when this game officially releases, them grifters about to be losing their shit. They're about to be scared shitless. Doodle streaks all in their pants. That's about to be them. But the reason why I brought this tweet up in Zeke up in particular specifically, to show y'all that unanimously the early reviews are coming out that is really fucking good, is because it was attached to Mighty Keith. Now, most of the people who are part of that grifter movement, I only know them because I see this nigga Mighty Keith constantly calling these niggas jackasses and idiots. I have never organically seen any of them niggas post on my timeline if it wasn't Mighty Keith or a couple other people I know calling them niggas dumbasses. That's the only time I ever see their shit, when they're getting called a fucking idiot. He got an early review and he said AC Shadows has reviewed the highest out of the modern Assassin's Creed Shadow games. So that's around like the Odyssey Origins trilogy. From there up, I personally would consider that modern Assassin's Creed. But even if you put it all the way back at like Syndicate and Unity, those piece of shit games, and bring it up, still reviewed higher. My detailed review will be out later tonight, but TLDR, actually, let me see. Actually, no, I'll watch that on my own time, but TLDR, it falls in line kind of safely. So it's a Spider-Man 2 safe sequel type of game. Before this game came out, I said, I don't trust Ubisoft to do anything crazy, new, and innovative. It's going to be another Assassin's Creed game. Assassin's Creed to me is one of those gaming franchises that lost its identity somewhere along the way. And it looks like all they're doing with this Assassin's Creed is they're meshing together the action adventure Assassin's Creed from the time when they tried to stray away from their identity because they were scared of making sneaky assassin games, and they just started making action games with fucking Vikings and stuff like that. And they're merging that with like our older remembrance and the version we have in our head of the way that older Assassin's Creed worked with all the sneaky assassin stuff. That's what I've been saying. I'll wait to see a review. Maybe they'll surprise me, but I didn't think so. Sounds like they didn't surprise me, but if they keep their quality standard flat, that will take them out of stop that. Hey, don't lick your own private parts around here. That's nasty. My fault. I had to talk to my dog real quick. Anyway, like I was saying, I didn't expect it to do nothing new. I didn't expect it. Oh, I've been talking to silence for the last couple minutes. I need to put that on loop. 1 second. Play stop. Loop stop. There we go. There we go. Fade. Fade out. Put 3 seconds. Put my headphones back on just to make sure that the music don't stop. Alright. Back to what I was saying. It falls in line kind of safely. They did not overextend for... Hey! We don't do that. Overextend for this title. If you enjoyed Origins and Odyssey, this is basically just more of that. It could have been shorter, but not nearly as much bloat as Valhalla. I enjoyed my time with the title. Sounds like a decent game. Not the greatest game in the world, not a 10 out of 10. It sounds good enough. But if that's not enough for you, was DualShockers on that list? I don't think so. I could be wrong. No, DualShockers wasn't on this list. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if this shit doesn't get like a fucking 11,000 out of 10. What is it? What's the score? Just to be over it. I'm gonna read the summary too. 5.5 out of 10. Ooh, that's juicy. Hold on. This is the first non-positive review I've seen. Let's read. That's interesting. While it feels a bit unfair that the actual reputation and future of a long-standing video game creating giant like Ubisoft is resting on the shoulders of shadows, this does seem to be the situation they found. I still was excited. I don't give a fuck, bro. How was the game? Fans have long desired to see an AC venture to Japan. Okay, that's history. Okay, we're gonna read the last paragraph. I'm not reading through all this shit. At best, the crucial story beats were hidden somewhere in a bloat of hundreds of side quests that I felt no desire to play. Okay, to be fair, I also hate the amount of side quests in all the Assassin's Creed games, but this is a well-established franchise. You should know what to expect by now. I feel like this is one of those things where they're just giving their opinion and they genuinely don't like the amount of side missions. But it sounds like you're not an Assassin's Creed fan if you don't want to do all the side missions and stuff like that, or any of them at all. That I felt no desire to play, and at worst they simply are exactly what they seem, unexplained, out of nowhere nonsense. I need more clarification on what you mean by out of nowhere nonsense, like in goofy, lighthearted, cause a laugh kind of way, or in a boring, these missions achieve nothing in terms of fun story, none of that, other than to just inflate the time of the game. Instead, the game simply just ends. Nothing is resolved, nor is it properly explained. At one point in the final hours, I actually laughed out loud as a main character confronted someone about stolen items that were apparently extremely important to the story. Yet I knew absolutely nothing about them, and I still don't. I mean, I'll put it like this. Assassin's Creed was a game that had like there are some Assassin's Creed games with good stories, right? Not all of them are good, but there are some Assassin's Creed games with the story that have good stories. what I personally remember most from Assassin's Creed games are like the gameplay and like the way that the missions are styled and the spectacle of it all. I look at Assassin's Creed as a series where the story is the way that they tie together their cool, spectacular ideas that they want to like showcase and display to you, if that makes sense. Think of it like how, I'll put on my regular music. I think we got the point on the bad timing thing. But I think that more so when it comes to Assassin's Creed games, it's more about the spectacle than the actual like story. But there has been a good one here and there. So much of it is left unexplained and unexplained by the end that I can't help think more answers must be coming in a direct sequel. If this is the case, Ubisoft has apparently decided to hold everything back for that game, because this one has no resolutions for its biggest questions whatsoever. Closing comments. Assassin's Creed Shadows is a bloated collection of uninspired quests that quickly turn into a repetitive, boring grind. That's literally every fucking Assassin's Creed. And Mighty Cube did say that this game is long as shit. Not as bad as Valhalla, but still long as shit. While the art and history teams deserve recognition for their efforts, that to me is something that matters in Assassin's Creed. How good does the game look? With games like Assassin's Creed, people who are fans of that franchise, we do give a fuck about how the game looks and how the game world looks, because we're going to be spending hours upon hours here. So we want to see details in these open worlds, and that's something that that Ubisoft games are known for. Like, they have big ass open worlds with a bunch of shit all over the map that's fucking boring, but when you go through the different locales to see the detail that they put into their maps and the way that they have little different nooks and crannies and crevices and little holes and stuff like that, and places for you to parkour, it's always a cool thing to see. So to me, that is something that matters. Now, to this particular individual, they may not give a fuck about how pretty the game is if the story sucks, because it sounds like it's a very Ubisoft ass story. Could be wrong. Only Ubisoft games I know in particular that had a good... Oh, wait, hold up. Let me turn on my playlist. I thought I was on my playlist this whole time. From my memory, now, I haven't played every single Ubisoft game, but from my memory, the only ones that had like a stellar story is Splinter Cell. But Splinter Cell came from a book. Like, they were like, it was based, the Splinter Cell games were based on Tom Clancy books. Because I remember the story in Ghost Recon and all that. That shit was painfully generic from what I remember. I remember the fucking Assassin's Creed story. Like I said, there's a couple stories here and there that were cool as fuck, but the rest of it was... From what I remember, fucking... It's always a bunch of shit in the open world. The parkouring, and we've already seen the parkouring and stuff like that, and the ability to prone and the action elements. So we know the combat system is going to be really fucking good, because that's another thing that, like I said, Assassin's Creed fans care about. They want to be a sneaky assassin, and to be a sneaky assassin, you got to have a good combat like system in general, period. The story, it's tossed in there whether it's good or not, but I don't think other Assassin's Creed fans of any vein give a fuck, because I don't remember none of the Assassin's Creed story, and I played through several of them. So it's like, that's negligible in my opinion. That's a negligible negative. It's a negative worth mentioning, you know, in case somebody reading this gives a fuck about that. But the typical Assassin's Creed fan, or somebody who will be a fan of Assassin's Creed, I don't really think they give a fuck. A super fan's gonna care regardless, but I don't think the average Assassin's Creed fan gives a fuck. None of the changes and tweaks that Ubisoft brought to the table move the needle, and the game is ultimately more frustrating than it is fun. I mean, I wouldn't say that's part of the fun, but you know, that's something that could be argued and debated on a case-by-case basis. This is a game that desperately needed to succeed and instead collapses under its own weight. Future Assassin's Creed releases need to innovate. No, they don't. I think because Assassin's Creed doesn't sell 100 million copies every new iteration and isn't like as big as Mario, a lot of people underrate the power of the Assassin's Creed IP. Because like when it comes to biggest games, there's like the biggest games of all time, right? That's like the S tier stuff that everybody knows, franchises that everybody fucks with. Like there's nobody on this earth that hates Mario games. I mean, there's a lot of people on this earth that hate Sonic games, but he's right there next to Mario. You can't not put him right next to Mario. There's stuff like fucking Minecraft that's up there in you don't even have to play games to know them games. Pokemon, it's stuff like that. Then a layer under, well, oh yeah, Fortnite's up there too. Then a layer under is stuff where like if you're mildly into games, like you're not really a gaming enthusiast per se, but you've played a game or two, you own a game or two, you have a game console, and you said I might as well buy a game or two to go with it, and you probably got one of these games before. At least even if it was just like you brought a PlayStation or Xbox or whatever and it came in a bundle, you know, you've gotten it before. That's where you got your Assassin's Creed, your Metal Gear Solids, where Metal Gear Solid is just under S tier. If you play video games, you want 100% know what Metal Gear Solid is. But if you're not a gamer, your grandma that has never touched a gaming console a day in her life, she does not know who Snake is. She knows who Mario is. But if you've touched your controller, even if you've never touched a Metal Gear game, you know about Metal Gear, you know about Resident Evil, you know about like games like that. Not necessarily in like the horror, survival horror type aspect, but in the aspect of games where even if you haven't played them, if you play video games at all, you know of them. Assassin's Creed is right there. It's not an S tier game, but it's an A tier game. It's definitely not B tier. Hell no. That shit makes too much money to even be thought of as a B tier. A tier, yes. S tier, nah. That's the Fortnites, the Marios, the Minecrafts, the stuff like that, the Sonics. That's what's in the S tier. Right under that is Assassin's Creed. Right under that. And like, I think a lot of people forget that this is a franchise, not only A, built off of gameplay, B, it's a very powerful franchise that a lot of people love. When you have a franchise that's very strong, when you have an IP that's very strong, you don't have to move the needle. As long, all right, think of it like this spoon, right? As long as this spoon stays straight and it doesn't dip down, everything's all fine. If it goes up, oh, W, that's what we like. But if it does this, it's cool. You know why? Because a lot of people are fine with accepting more of the same. Now, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, it's a case-by-case basis. It's a case-by-case basis as to whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. But what I'll say to wrap up this whole point is this: Assassin's Creed is not no damn Mario, but it's on a tier right under Mario. It's a very powerful franchise. As long as this game isn't worse than the last Assassin's Creed, which was like Mirage, I think that shit, I remember unanimously hearing people say that shit was fucking terrible. As long as you do better than that and meet the regular Assassin's Creed quality standard, you're good. None of the changes and tweaks that Ubisoft brought to the table. Did my shit go off twice? I'll see you later, but I hope my shit ain't going off twice. That'll be annoying. I'm gonna tell, I forgot to say it. Thank you for the W follow. Go ahead and throw the V one time for me, and I'll tell you like I tell everybody else. If you hate a chillin' vibe, let's chillin' vibe. If you're a fucking bot, you get banned. No, I don't want to buy your art either. It's all unfortunately wasted on a narrative that goes nowhere, is poorly explained, and has no satisfying resolution. None of the and the game is ultimately more frustrating than it is fun. This is a game that desperately needed to succeed. Collapses under release need to innovate, yet being another rehash of games we've already played in different locations. That's part of the coolness of playing Assassin's Creed, that even though you're playing the same game in different locations, that core idea of the game is so fucking good. I want to play it in Japan, I want to play it in Italy, I want to play it in Greece, and I want to interact with it in those different environments. This sounds, like I said, it sounds like this game isn't bad. This person just genuinely didn't like what they played. You get what I'm saying? Like, all right, you know how sometimes you'll be around, you could eat a burger, right? The burger could be busting. You could eat it and somebody be like, did you like the burger? And you'll be like, nah. But if somebody asks you, yo, was that burger good? You'll be like, yeah, the burger's good. This is not for me. That's what it sounds like this person had. Because they're not straight up saying, this is the worst piece of slop I ever played in my life. They're saying, it's more of the same. It's the same fucking game yet again. This is a game that desperately needed to succeed. There are other open world games in similar settings that are much more worthy of your time. Basically, play Ghost of Tsushima is what they're telling you. I wouldn't tell you that shit. And I don't like that fucking game, but that's a conversation for another day. But before stream, I caught another review. I was about to read this because I saw this while I was on the toilet, but I was like, you know what? Let me save it for stream. Assassin's Creed Shadows, Kami's early review and impressions. After about 25 hours, there are some parts of Shadows that he loves, but there are certain elements that are just not good. He's a fan of the gameplay with some caveats, but the story can be a hit or miss. Every Assassin's Creed. Overall, I think fans of classic AC will be pleased. Read the thread for more. Stealth. First, the good. Oh wait, hold up. Let me click into it. Oh shit, wait, no. Alright, so you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do it like this. Take that Megatron. Okay, copy link. I'm gonna put this gameplay full screen and I'm gonna read what he says. I'm gonna have it just off screen. So, boom. I'm gonna have it right here like this, reading all the yappage and browsing through the yappage while this footage just plays. Let me pause this. Just let you hear some of the sound effects while I talk. Stealth. First, the good. I love the stealth gameplay as Naui, which I said before the game came out that the stealth with Naui, it's not my cup of tea, but it did look pretty cool. It didn't look like just more of the same. It looked like they added a couple genuine things and they smoothed out a couple genuine problems from before that made it better. Or even if it's not better in terms of they added some new innovative thing, it's better in terms of what we wanted and asked them to change from the last version they did in this version. I love the stuff gameplay as now it feels a lot more Assassin's Creed than the past few games, which was a big problem I as well as a lot of other people had with the last few Assassin's Creed games, like especially me with Valhalla. I didn't like it. Like, I like it, but I didn't like it as an Assassin's Creed game because I was like, what the fuck does a sneak... Like, how you gonna be this 6'2" dude with this big-ass axe that goes on battlefields and chops people over the head with these big-ass weapons? Like, how are you supposed to sneak around while you doing that? So, that's one complaint I have had, and about the nerfed stealth gameplay and what I'm saying when I talk about how this game has, like, really lost a good portion of its identity. And is my browser volume all the way up? Okay, no, this gameplay genuinely is quiet. There are more tools at your disposal and the world feels more dynamic. Love the level design and the enemy bases too, with plenty of parkour opportunities. We'll get to that later. Now we can use a kunai to pick people off from a range or a smoke bomb to make a quick escape if needed, which is cool as fuck. I don't think that was ever in the old Assassin's Creed. Prone has also been added, which adds more options for cover and traversal. You can also interact with objects like extinguishing lights or closing doors, which is, now that I think about it, that is a cool feature that they added that I don't remember being in any previous Assassin's Creed. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't remember that. Add more options for cover and traversal. You can also interact with objects. Hiding in the shadows will make you essentially invisible to enemies, so make sure to use that to your advantage. Shadows using observe mechanic where you can zoom in and tag both enemies and nearby. Oh, so you can pickpocket niggas from a distance? I guess that's what the feature they're using or showcasing now. Oh shit, you can telekinetically pickpocket niggas. Let's go. When you enter the oh wait, no. Exclusive to Naui is the Eagle Vision. It's basically her ability to see through walls mechanic. When you enter an enemy base, the first thing you'll usually do is scan around and look for all the nearby loot. From there, you can plan out a route to complete your objective while collecting all the loot along the way. I love trying to stay undetected while doing this, taking full advantage of Nowie's parkour. It's a really great time. Level design for these stealth challenges is also great. Okay, it's a lot of words here, but I think we kind of get the point. The stealth is pretty fucking cool because they added a lot more stuff to make it so that the stealth is more dynamic. It's not like in a past couple games. Like I seen Assassin's Creed Mirage gameplay, and the game stealth in the game essentially went like this. You press a button and your after image teleports over to them and goes, and they die. Not very sneaky assassin of this game. Story. Now this is where I need to put a caveat because I'm currently only 25 hours into this game. Still, my overall impressions of the story have been mixed so far. I can tell that a lot of emphasis has been placed on improving the storytelling. 1 plus 0 is an improvement. 1 plus 0 is an improvement. 1 plus 5 is an improvement. 1 plus 1.1 is an improvement. You get what I'm saying? If the max is 100 and you're moving up from 55 to 56, technically you improved, but okay, now this is more sort of volume I like in the action I need to see on screen. Honestly, the flashback. Oh wait, no, I skipped something. I can tell a lot of emphasis. Production value is higher with pre-rendered cutscenes that are sometimes 6 or 7 minutes long, which is pretty goddamn long. That it depends. If the cutscenes are good, being 5 minutes long, 5 minutes plus long, can be a good thing, but it has to be good for you to be able to get away with that with pre-rendered cutscenes. Because remember, these games eventually will not be easily playable on modern platforms. They will eventually be ported or emulated and stuff like that, or even just people modding the game to look even better and better and better and have better graphics. Meaning in the future, the pre-rendered cutscenes could look dog shit compared to the unpre-rendered, I'm forgetting the term. But basically when you're walking around the game and you're watching it beat by beat and it's not a non-pre-rendered cutscene, basically. That's not the term for it, but you know what I'm talking about when I say non-pre-rendered cutscene. It's gonna look compressed and fucked up, so it depends. It depends. Over time, that can get annoying. The story relies heavily on flashbacks to explain both Naui and Yasuke's backstories, and now they each got to that point. Honestly, the flashbacks can be hard to follow, especially early on. After a certain point, I started to catch on, but it can feel all over the place. It's a lot to keep track of. Both protagonists have an entire cast of side characters and villains unique to them. There are multiple different factions, groups. Yeah, it's a lot of shit going on in the story. The main story is broken up to act. There's a 2 to 3 prologue that was fantastic. Great way to start the game. From there, Act 1 kind of tapered off for me. So the story starts strong, and the story starts off heavy back shots. Bow, 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 bow. But a minute in, it started getting tired. So it went from heavy. Wait, hold up. Let me take my phone out of my pocket before I break the screen by mistake. Hitting it with my BBC. So at the beginning, it was bow, 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 bow. They had Shorty bent over the door and this shit. Doing a funky chicken. She trying to do the little art she practiced when she was watching off of a TikTok trend or something like that. Can't even do it because of back wiggling. Then as soon as he got into Act 1, they went from bow, bow, bow to bow, 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 bow. Slowing down a little bit. Now the thing about that is it could pick up a little bit later. Maybe they was just trying to catch their breath for a second or give you a little chance before they start ramming your shit again. We'll see. The game is still giving you tutorials, and it feels like, damn, 2 to 3 hours in. The game is still giving you tutorials, and it feels like they're trying to ease you in. This lasts for around 10 to 12 hours, at which point Act 2 begins and things really start to pick up IMO. I swear to you, I read the first tweet, then I said I'm gonna read this on stream. Maybe they was giving you a second before they start ramming you again, because this game does look like it has a lot of mechanics in it that are like to be played with and understood. In a game about thing about games now, especially like AAA games, is that usually there has to be several hours worth of tutorials, because that's how mechanically deep it is. That's how much stuff there is to learn in a game. Like imagine, like if you've never played Elden Ring, you're probably not gonna get this, but it's actually better example. The reason why I will never play Persona is because it's long as shit. But the thing that will make me never ever in life give Persona even a chance is I found out that 50 hours into the average Persona playthrough, you are still getting new tutorials or new mechanics. And that's constantly happening. 50 hours. That's 10 hours worth of overtime on a work week if you don't understand how much that is. 50, bro. 50? Nah, can't do it. So it depends on how annoying the pop-ups are. And one of my fears with this game, and things that I think was kind of cleaned up in the entries of Assassin's Creed, where you kind of weren't good at being a sneaky assassin because they took all that shit out, is that older Assassin's Creeds, like around when they started making it yearly, had a problem with shit controls where you would press one button and your character would do like this. They're trying to grab a wall while they're moving a chess piece, and at the same time jump in a haystack. Like they're trying to put their body in 3, 4, 5 different directions. So they sitting over there doing this because they don't know what you want, what you press and what you want to happen. So that's a fear I always have with Assassin's Creed, that the controlling might be shit, but we'll see. Yeah, because this map does look big as fuck now that I'm looking at it. Hey, because look, it's shit all over the place. And is there a zoom in slider? Place markers, legend, recenter. I don't see a zoom in indicator, but this map looks big as hell. This shit looks like it's going to be annoying to 100%, which sounds very Ubisoft gamey of them. For whatever reason, it seemed like the quality of everything started to improve after this point. Could be. The English voice acting in particular, which in the opening hours was rough, finally started to improve and be more in line with what I'd expect from a Ubisoft game. Okay, maybe they were a little bit low on budget on that part, or maybe the English voice actors took some time to adjust in their best takes. Best takes for like the beginning, where, you know, beginning takes, and their stuff towards the end is more impactful because they had to be more intensive and they had more time to understand the characters. Yeah, because with voice acting, sometimes you got to grow into the character to understand what's going on. It's still not amazing voice acting, mind you, but the opening hours were just unacceptably bad. Mainly minor NPCs, but even some of the main story cutscenes were hard to listen to, with extremely thick accents and voices sounding almost robotic at times. Every review I spoke to said they immediately switched to the Japanese voiceover. Damn, so this shit got terrible voice acting? I'm gonna skip those last 2 paragraphs because we kind of get the fucking point. Oh, more gameplay. Let's go. Where's that at? Right here. Combat. Overall, I think the combat is decent, but not amazing. You can parry, deflect, and dodge with new additions like shinobi tools for Naui. Yasuke can use a bow or a teppo rifle for ranged options. Yeah, we saw that. Basically, they ramped up the combat and they added a bunch of new weapons and mechanics and stuff like that. You know, standard new game stuff. Combat's pretty fucking good from what I saw. Do protagonist. Does he switch protagonists in this shit? Oh yeah, let's see how that works. Because we pretty much understand that the combat in this game is good. Dual protagonist. As you've no doubt heard, features 2 playable protagonists. The first thing to note is that you are free to play as Naui for 90% of the game or more if you want. There are a handful of Yasuke only missions, but outside of that, do what you want. Wait, I want to see how does it look to actually switch. Okay, so he's on Yasuke now. You go into the menu. Does it? Okay, it spawns them in at the same spot. I think that's a decent system. It's not annoying as like Grand Theft Auto's was in the beginning before they switched it up. There are absolutely times where you're better off playing as Yasuke. He deals far more damage, more survivability, more heals, more abilities, so on and so forth. For boss fights and challenging combat encounters, Yasuke is 100% the way to go. Well, yeah, that's what the character is designed for. He's supposed to be a big brutish type character. I would hope you could handle big brute character fucking scenarios. For general gameplay and exploration, I spent the vast majority of time as Naue. Yeah, for travel stuff, I would imagine she's better. She gets around faster, her parkour is miles better, and she still does just fine in combat. So it sounds like if you're really skilled and you want to one character this game, it's better to do to one character this game as Naue more so than Yasuke. Except for like boss fights, you're gonna get your ass beat. But other than that, pretty much just fucking play it Naue. Parkour is another area where it feels like they've gone more in the direction of a classic Assassin's Creed. It feels less brainless and requires a little bit more planning. Like I said, I imagine that the reason why they have two protagonists is because they want to appeal to both audiences of people, of Assassin's Creed fans, meaning they not only want to appeal to people who are fans of the newer Assassin's Creed games, but they also want to appeal to people who are fans of the older entries of the franchise. Not the biggest expert on AC parkour, so I'll keep this part brief. I like the parkour in this game, although it feels a little inconsistent at times. I think OG fans will enjoy it. World design. Ubisoft have actually made Shadows open... wait, hold up. Let me scroll through the footage. Have actually made the world a bit smaller than Valhalla's, which is consistent with what Mighty Keith said, that it's a smaller open world. The world feels more close quarters and intimate than before, with narrower paths and dense wood areas blocking all parts of the map. Basically, that's the game's way of saying, hey, there's nothing here, turn your dumb ass around. As a result, you'll spend less time running through empty space and more time on the main path. So it sounds like the way the map is designed, you're more likely to run into shit. Hell on ADHD, bro. That's gonna be hell on ADHD, bro. While the last few games were about scale, Shadow is more about the detail and the journey. The world feels like a character in itself. There's a bigger focus on nature and weather with that. Yeah, that's something they said. Like if ice freezes over in a certain level, you'll be able to walk on it, whereas in the springtime of the game, you won't. Things I don't like. My biggest issues with the game are the English voiceover and the fact that Yasuke is restricted from accessing sync points. Well, yeah, he's not an assassin, so that makes sense. It sounds small, but these are some pretty glaring issues when you're actually playing. Hopefully Ubisoft can adjust some shit soon. Probably not. The story has its moments, but with all the flashbacks... Hey, thank you for the W. Follow! Go ahead and throw the V one time, and I'm going to tell you, like I tell everybody, I hope you enjoy your time here, but no, I will not buy your art, and if you're a bot, you're banned, bitch. There is a canon mode which yeah, we know about canon mode. The game does still have bugs, some bugs to work out. That's every AAA game. Now, I just hit the follow button. Yeah, that's why the notification popped up, picked up. Welcome, welcome. The game still does have every game that releases is gonna have bugs here and there. Visuals and performance. Shadows is a very pretty game. It's the first ever AC game and feature rate. Nobody gives a fuck. That's nerdy shit. PS5 Pro performance mode looks great in feature standard. Blah blah blah. The art design, that's what I want to hear about, is also fantastic. But that's what it looks like, because the art design in this game looks a little bit fucking good. I don't know if I want to streaming. Well, I mean, the best way to start streaming is to hit the go live button, dog. That's the best way to do it. That's the best advice I give you. The art design is also fantastic, which I can tell from just the footage and stuff that we're seeing that they really took their time with the art design, because they delayed this game several times. It looks like all that, oh, we gotta polish up the game, we gotta make sure the game looks good stuff. It feels like, it seems like, it looks like they weren't lying about that. Ubisoft have done a great job bringing the Japanese setting to life, and it's clear that a lot of work has gone into making it historically accurate. Oh, there goes that term. Historically accurate. That's not streaming. We'll see. We'll see. I'd have to see your content first. And it's clear that a lot of work has gone into making it historically accurate. The leaves change color depending on the season, and the Japanese shrines and architecture look great. Ubisoft always puts a lot of work into their settings, but it feels like they went above and beyond this time. Verdict for their early impressions. That part I will put on the screen, and I will turn on my background music for. Now. Oh, I forgot to turn it on random. Yeah, I show you there. Yeah. You better not send me no weird shit or you're blocked. Verdict, early impressions. Overall, they think Assassin's Creed Shadows is a solid entry and definitely one of the better ones in recent memory. Yeah, because they had to sit down. Ubisoft had to sit down, take a step back, and humble themselves and say, oh, we can't just slap Assassin's Creed on everything and it just gets sales. People who are Assassin's Creed fans are part of the gaming enthusiast community. They're not the people who buy whatever you smack on the table and say, buy this now, bitch. They're people who step back and they look at game reviews. They Google, what do reviewers say about this game before they play it? Y'all better come correct. Y'all better come correct. And it sounds like, no Diddy, but they came correct. But overall, they think Assassin's Creed Shadows is a solid entry and definitely one of the better ones in recent memory. While it hasn't quite reached the heights of Odyssey for me yet, I can already say I'm enjoying the story more than Valhalla. Do you play this game early? You gotta be a content creator, big dog. So the way it works, without like saying it long, is either you gotta buy their play early version or you gotta be a content creator that they're basically giving a review copy ahead of time so that you can review the game, play it on stream, show off the game, basically advertise the game and whatnot. So other than that, GG's, big dog. But to do that, you gotta play the 100 billion, 1,000 trillion, quintillion dollar version. And I'm not gonna lie, if I were you, I would, first off, I would ask, are you like a fan of Assassin's Creed already? Like, have you played other Assassin's Creed games? Because if you have played other Assassin's Creed games and you like them, you'll probably like this one from what I'm reading. But if you've never touched an Assassin's Creed game, watch some gameplay, actually read some reviews, and you should be able to get your answer that way. Stealth and parkour feel more like traditional AC with the dual protagonists allowing each other to truly shine in their role. I love both Yasuke and Naoe as characters, and the fact that they are two very different people with unique backstories is an interesting change-up for the series. I don't know, Tony. I've been playing Assassin's Creed games from when I was little. Ezio Trilogy, AC3, Black Flag. Okay, yeah. So you're about in the same range of Assassin's Creed fandom I've been, because my first Assassin's Creed I remember was like either 2 or 3. Whichever Assassin's Creed had the mini game where the ladies had the pots on their head and you had to sneak through, and my little dumbass like 10-year-old or however-year-old brain couldn't figure out how to push through them and use the goddamn Y button. I remember that shit was like fucking fighting millennia to me when I was like 10 or whatever. But if you're around the age range I am in terms of how long you've been playing Assassin's Creed, from what I'm reading, I can't stress this enough, from what I'm reading and what I've heard, this looks like more of the same, but a little bit different, which is good or bad depending on how you feel. And I'm guessing good about the AC. Hold on, I'm gotta text from somebody, mama. Oh, never mind, that's a noti. During your teenage years, 18, 19, etc., I stopped playing the new games after Origins. Valhalla got weird with the levels on the enemies and shit, bro. But looking to play Assassin's Creed game again. Yeah, this sounds like a good place to get back into it, because, again, from what I'm hearing, it's not that bad. And I just read through a whole review. Basically, the common things I'm seeing in the different reviews is more of the same. The parkour and the combat are better, and the story dog shit, which I expect dog shit stories out of Assassin's Creed. The story in the voice acting, I only seen that in this review. But the story, dog shit, and the map, it's still pretty big, but it's not as bad as like a Valhalla or something like that, where it looks like somebody put a piece of paper in front of themselves, they put a bunch of food in their mouth, they swallowed it, they reached in their mouth and they touched that little punching bag in the back of their throat, they flicked it like a girl trying to masturbate. Alright, take out your phones. Level designers, take out your phones, take a picture of that. That's what I want the map to look like. It sounds like they didn't do that. Sounds like they actually thought about where they put shit on the map. And from what it sounds like what I said is exactly what happened. Ubisoft stood there. They said, whoo, hold on 1 second. We gotta lock in. We can't sell them whatever we want. We actually gotta try to make a good game. And then they made a good game. They locked in, bruh. They locked in. This is what I love to see. God damn it. Let me hit the clap it up button. Because this game and what I'm hearing sounds like an example of you just can't rest on your laurels and coast on your victory forever. You gotta do something new. You gotta do something different. Now, there's some people who don't like what they did that's new, that don't like what they did that's different. And I'll see eventually when I play it, I'll try it out. I don't know if I'm going to try it this week. Nah, I don't know if I'm going to try it out next week, but I'll try it for the month is over. I'll try it out and I'll see if I like it. I'll see if I like it. I know for a fact I'm not beating this game though. Like, no matter how much I like it, I just know. And the fact that they're two very different people, blah, blah, blah. Visuals and performance are great on PS5 Pro, and although it's much more polished in recent releases, there are still some bugs to be worked out. If I had to give it a score now, I would give it an 8 out of 10. So that score is consistent with the other scores we seen earlier. Let me see. Where is it? Is it this one? Yep, it is. That's consistent with the scores we've seen earlier. I've only seen one bad score, and it was from DualShockers. And the DualShocker one, it just sounded like somebody who wasn't a fan of Assassin's Creed went and played Assassin's Creed and said, I don't like Assassin's Creed. Gaming trend, 10, 9.5, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9. Got me sounding like Juice WRLD. Got me sounding like them pigeons on the beach in, what was it? Toy Story? Yeah, Toy Story. 8, 8, 8, 7, 7, 4 out of 5, 4 out of 5, 4 out of 5, 4 out of 5. Metacritic average 83. I don't know what the fuck else he is, but the Metacritic average 83. So it's not the best game you've ever touched. But early reviews came in and they said, hey, bruh, this shit valid. This valid. If somebody said I fuck with this game heavy, I wouldn't say why would you fuck with that slop? And like I said, the only people hating on this game right now are fucking people who seizure over themselves whenever they see anybody besides a white male or a white woman that they like to sexualize in a video game. But speaking of video games, let's talk about Smash Bros. Creator Masahiro Sakurai and how he says that Japanese